So Crimson Desert, it's a game we've been keeping an eye on. This is like the game that we've said since the first trailer. Looks like, in some ways, too good to be true. Looks too good to be true, which is a great problem to have. I mean, if you ever have a game that you're revealing to the public and people go, there's no way that's real. That's good if you can deliver it. If you can't, you have a No Man's Sky situation, and then you're going to be, hurting. But if they can actually deliver on this, people will be thoroughly impressed. I really think so. So they've released a series of small clips and snippets showcasing the engine, cloth sim, hair sim, some of the physics stuff going on in the world. And, these are the types of things that some people just do not care about, which is okay. Like when people look at AC Shadows and they see like the particle sim with leaves blowing and whirling around boulders and rocks and stuff. I understand that some people are like, what's the point? How does that affect the game? Totally get it. I, for one, just love sim stuff in games. It helps me feel more immersed. It helps the world feel more real when I see the cloth blowing in the wind instead of just sitting there. But it does not a great game make. It just shows, hopefully, that the attention to detail has been put into these smaller details that make it all the better. Because I think with a lot of games, like, you get good gameplay, you get a good story, you get decent, or even really good graphics, that can get you to like the 9 out of 10 level. To get to the 10 out of 10 level takes the attention to detail. It takes the small stuff, the little bitty tweaks that really take it above and beyond. And when you see developers putting that effort in, I think it's great. Now, you run into trouble if you didn't get the core fundamentals good enough, because then it's like, yeah, you added these bells and whistles, but you didn't get the game running well. It's like super buggy, or maybe it stutters constantly. One thing I fully expect for this is that I think this game is going to rely a lot on upscalers and stuff like DLSS, FSR, and I think you can already see some of the artifacting of that if you zoom in and you see some of the hashed, I think is what they call it, artifacting on certain areas where it's been trying to upscale. But it's also IGN footage, and IGN for years has had a problem with over compressing videos that they publish on their official page. I don't know why they still have this problem. I've made 15 videos complaining about it, but they have 18 million subs, going on 19 million subs, and they still don't know how to properly encode a video to not compress the crap out of it. It's just frustrating. But some of these things are not just compression artifacts like this. This is an actual ghosting artifact that you can see from the branch, the twig here. You see the lines that have echoed as it's gone by. That's this ghosting that's happening. You can see right there. That's an actual artifact of the upscalers, the temporal ones. So you just got to keep an eye out for that, because it can affect overall image quality, especially if you're playing on a bigger display. But I love the attention to detail with this smaller stuff. And I think it shows that they are adding these bells and whistles if you're able to run it, which I appreciate. I hope the game still runs well, even if you turn this stuff off, or certainly if it's on, but I love the attention to detail with the cloth blowing in the wind. Beyond that, they also showed some other little bells and whistles. So for example, this is the shallow water video showcasing their tech for waves splashing up on rocks. And this is insane. So you can see it turned off versus turned on. This is ridiculous. Look at the water. It it comes up here and then it trickles down. Hold on, go back. This is ridiculous. You can see the water splash up and then it actually comes down into this little crevice realistically. That's ridiculous. I don't know how many dozens of frames I have to sacrifice to get that running, but Jesus Christ, it looks good. Damn. Full water sim. Again, I understand, I've said in a bunch of videos recently, I was like, I'll take physics sim, I'll take PhysX, I'll take destructible environments, I'll take realistic cloth sim, water sim, all that stuff. I'll take that over ray tracing any day. I understand some people were like, Luke, I'm a graphics engineer. Part of the problem is that you can't do a lot of this stuff unless you have ray tracing. And I get that, I get it. I'm mainly just whining. But I understand that the more dynamics you have, the less baking you can do. And so you need to add in more dynamic rendering systems and techniques. So I get that. But I think all I'm doing is being a whiny little bitch. But I'm also just saying, I love dynamics. I don't need full resolution ray traced reflections if you can deliver this type of sim. You know, this I'm all about, especially because you see what it looks like in a kind of modern standard game with just a basic water shader over the top of it. And then they show the simulated one. And dude, it's a small detail. Again, will this make the game good if it's otherwise okay? No. But if the game is good and you add this, it can take it to great. You know, I love this little attention to detail stuff. And it gets you excited, you know, it gets you like, ooh, what are they doing now? Wow. Too nice. Look at this. They also showcase some ray tracing stuff. And you can see the sort of like ray tracing off. They pan over to it on. Again, just much more realistic lighting. This is something we also saw in AC Shadows. Some people thought it was like a bug because they're like, it makes the light look totally different. Like the actual temperature of the light inside a building or a room will totally change. It's like, yeah, because it's more realistic. It's bouncing, you know, when the light bounces off of something brown, it bounces off brown. Like it actually absorbs all of the wavelengths of light that are not brown, and then it reflects that back out, which is why, you know, you shine a spotlight on a big red Yeti thermos, the light that reflects off of it will come off red. But that's something you can't really do with more traditional, like rasterized lighting techniques. Whereas if you can, unless you like do crazy baking and stuff, but then, you know, there's other shortcomings. But with ray tracing stuff, you can actually do that. The other thing ray tracing allows you to do are these shadows. So you can see here, no shadows cast because the light is supposedly coming from this lamp right here, but it's just illuminating. You don't see anything else, but the light is coming from this lamp. You turn on ray tracing and you get the shadows casting realistically in the room. Ray tracing off, and then they're going to turn it on. Just more realistic. Now there's still, you know, other things. Again, my only real concern with Crimson Desert is performance, because I feel like we see a lot of artifacting. If I just zoom in here, in case you're watching on your phone, you might not be able to see. But we see a lot of artifacting, you know, this sort of pixel jumping and flickering that happens. This is with ray tracing turned off. And then you turn it on, there's still a little bit because I think the flames are flickering and stuff. But you do see some artifacting, and that is something that doesn't bother some people, but it can get distracting. And I would like it if they could fix it, you know, if they could get it working a little more smoothly. But they're adding in a lot of bells and whistles, which I hope shows that they are confident about everything else. But yeah, especially up here, you look up in the top, the difference in the color temperature of the light. It's all just totally different. So again, Crimson Desert, I think looks very, very impressive. This is the other one, time of day time-lapse video. So they're just going to cycle it forward with the cloud sim, the lighting, shifting and everything. I think this could be one of the, maybe not surprise hits, because I think a lot of people expect it to be really impressive, but I'm keeping an eye on this one because I think that this could be really, really impressive. I do think it has the potential to maybe be a little bloated because, again, these guys are the same ones that did Black Desert Online. So they do have a history of making big games, but their last one was like an MMO. So, you know, converting from MMO play styles to single player play styles can sometimes be difficult just because single player players tend to be more focused on, I don't know. I think you have to change the pace of gameplay a little bit more. But I mean, this looks, yeah, you know, slap it with NVIDIA's DLSS, easy fix. Yeah, just have them turn on frame generation. It'll be fine. So I think that one's going to be cool. I've talked to a few people. I think Joraptors played it. Didn't he play it at Gamescom, I think? So I've talked to people who have played it, and they said that it's pretty impressive. This is like volumetric fog and fluid simulation. So you can see as he dodges around, the fog shifts with him. This is something they had back going to like Arkham City. Batman Arkham City and Batman Arkham Knight had that same fog sim. And it was part of like the PhysX kit of NVIDIA, like proprietary stuff. Or maybe I'm thinking of Batman Arkham Origins. I think Origins had it. But it kind of fell off the face of the earth. They stopped doing it for a long time. But I think it's so cool. I love this kind of thing. But everybody I've spoken to said, no, it plays really well. It plays really well. They were like, I'm still kind of not sold on the story. That was one thing I heard, because it does seem like it's very, I don't know, it's a little convoluted. It's very verbose, and I think some people are iffy on the story, and I still don't really know what it's about, but I think it looks promising. Yeah, you need a 6090. Yeah, of which there will be 3 made, and they will each be $30,000 from scalpers. But we'll keep an eye on it, because I'm excited for that one. I hope we hear more. Maybe this summer at Summer Games Fest we hear more. Maybe we see that. I don't know. It'd be super cool if they had it as a demo at Summer Games Fest. I think it was there last year, but me and my team, we forgot to request access to it. We were kind of trying to fill out our schedule at the last possible minute, and somehow we got access to Elden Ring's DLC when very few people got access to that. But yeah, missed out on Crimson Desert. Not this year though. Not this year. He took my thing.